Most of these aren't just movies. They're about making them. About fame, failure, ego, and the chaos behind the scenes. 10 forgotten films that say more about Hollywood than Hollywood ever meant to. 1. The Stuntman, 1980. The Stuntman, 1980, caught me off guard. It's weird. It's funny. It's totally unhinged. And somehow it all works. Steve Railsback plays a fugitive who ends up hiding out on a movie set and accidentally becomes a stuntman. But the director, played by Peter Owl, is something else entirely. Charming, manipulative, and maybe a little insane. Richard Rush directed it. He spent years trying to get it made. Nobody wanted it. Too strange, too hard to pitch. When it finally came out, critics praised it, but audiences mostly missed it. It's a part thriller, part war movie, part comedy, part breakdown. You never really know where it's going or if what you're seeing is even real. Odell gives one of those performances you can't shake. The kind that keeps the energy on edge even in the quiet moments. This isn't just about making movies. It's about how far people will go to control the story and what happens when the cameras roll and no one yells cut. 2. The Bad and the Beautiful, 1952. The Bad and the Beautiful 1952 wasn't on my radar for a long time, but once I saw it, I couldn't believe how current it felt for a movie made 70 years ago. Kirk Douglas plays a Hollywood producer who's brilliant, magnetic, and completely toxic. The story is told through 3 people who knew him, each one burned in a different way. A writer, a director, an actress. All of them pulled in by charm, then spit out by ambition. Directed by Vincente Minnelli, right in the middle of his MGM run. But this one doesn't play soft. It's slick, sure, but sharp, almost bitter. It won 5 Oscars, including Best Screenplay and Best Supporting Actress. But somehow it's still rarely mentioned, even in conversations about classic Hollywood takedowns. Douglas is electric in it. Always a step ahead. Always with that grin that makes you think maybe he means it until he doesn't. This isn't about the dream. It's about the machine and what it takes from the people who keep it running. Not loud, not tragic, just quiet damage. The kind that leaves a mark. 3. Lenny, 1974. The spotlight's on. The mic is live. And Lenny Bruce walks out, not to entertain, but to tell the truth. Lenny 1974 isn't a rise and fall story. It's slower, more painful. A man standing up over and over, even when the world tells him to sit down. Directed by Bob Fsy, right between Cabaret and All That Jazz. But this time, no dancing, no color, just black and white film shot like it's spying on something you shouldn't be seeing. Dustin Hoffman plays Lenny with zero distance. It's messy, agitated, sharp. You don't always agree with him, but you always feel the pressure he's under. The film got 6 Oscar nominations. Critics saw the power, but it never quite became part of the conversation. Maybe because it's not easy or safe. This isn't about comedy. It's about using your voice when it would be easier, safer not to. Fsy turns the stage into a trial. Even when Lenny's falling apart, even when nobody claps, he's still up there still talking because silence for him was never an option. 4. Inside Daisy Clover, 1965. Inside Daisy Clover, 1965, feels like a warning no one wanted to hear when it came out. Natalie Wood plays Daisy, a 15-year-old tomboy who gets turned into a Hollywood product almost overnight. She sings, she smiles, she sells records while slowly falling apart underneath it all. Directed by Robert Mulligan, who had just done To Kill a Mockingbird. But this is way different. Glossy on the surface, bleak underneath. It was supposed to be Natalie Wood's comeback. But the movie bombed. Too strange, too bitter, too ahead of its time. Looking back now, it's kind of incredible how honest it is. The studio system chews Daisy up. Nobody even bothers pretending it's about art. It's about selling and surviving. There's a moment late in the film, no spoilers, where Daisy finally breaks. It's loud, messy, and real. You can feel Natalie Wood slipping the mask. It's not perfect, but it sticks with you. Not about fame, about what they make you become to keep it. And what's left when you finally say no. That's the part they didn't want to show. But she did. 5. The Day of the Locust, 1975. Day of the Locust, 1975. The set in 1930s Hollywood, but it's not about stars. It's about the people standing just outside the frame. William Atherton plays a soft-spoken art director. Karen Black is an actress always on the edge of her big break. And Donald Sutherland, he plays Homer Simpson, a man so lonely it starts to leak out of him. Directed by John Schlesinger right after Midnight Cowboy. But this one's louder, more surreal. It flopped when it came out. Critics couldn't place it. Too grotesque, too angry. Now it plays like a warning. You can feel the heat in every frame, the desperation, the way everything looks perfect until you step closer. The ending still makes people uncomfortable. No spoilers. You'll know when you get there. It's not about the movies. It's about the illusion and how some people lose everything trying to live inside it. It doesn't whisper that Hollywood is broken. It shows you the fire while everyone's still smiling. 6. My favorite year, 1982. I found my favorite year, 1982, way later than I should have. It is funny, but it hits you with something else. Quiet sadness right behind the laughs. Peter Owl plays Alan Swan, a faded movie star brought in to guest on a live TV show. He's charming, messy, telling stories no one asked for. The young writer assigned to keep him in line. He grew up watching Swan on the big screen. Now he has to babysit him. Directed by Richard Benjamin, produced by Mel Brooks, and loosely based on the early days of Your Show of Shows. You can feel that love for old TV, for the chaos of going live. Odell got an Oscar nomination. The movie did fine, but people stopped talking about it. It's not just showbiz nostalgia. It's about meeting your heroes and realizing they're human. And it's about legacy. That moment when someone steps on stage and wonders if they've got anything left. Swan says, "I'm not an actor. I'm a movie star." And somehow that makes it all feel more real. Not bigger, just braver. 7. Day for Night, 1973. I didn't expect Day for Night 1973 to hit this hard. It's about making a movie, but really it's about keeping things from falling apart while pretending everything's fine. François Truffaut directs and plays the director. You get actors forgetting lines, breaking down, sleeping with the wrong people, quitting, coming back. The camera just keeps rolling. It's chaotic but soft, messy but patient. The title refers to a trick. Shooting night scenes in daylight with filters. Kind of perfect, right? The whole film is about illusion. It won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. Critics loved it. Pauline Kael called it the best movie ever made about making a movie. But this isn't a glossy love letter to cinema. It's about survival. Quiet burnout. What stuck with me is how everyone's struggling personally, emotionally, and still the work gets done barely, sloppily, beautifully. You don't watch this to be wowed. You watch it and nod because you've been there. Maybe not on a set, but somewhere holding it together while everything slips. And somehow, scene by scene, it all moves forward. That's what makes it feel real. 8. The Barefoot Contessa, 1954. The Barefoot Contessa, 1954, surprised me. It looks like old Hollywood glam. Big stars, big sets, long gowns, but the story underneath is colder, sadder. Ava Gardner plays Maria Vargas, a Spanish dancer turned movie star, but we only hear her story through other people, men mostly. A director, a lover, a PR guy. They each tell their version of who she was. Directed by Joseph L. Manitz right after All About Eve. And just like that one, this movie is full of sharp lines and quiet bitterness. The whole thing unfolds after Maria's death. Flashbacks, half-truths, regrets. Plays more like a wake than a drama. It wasn't a flop, but it faded fast. Critics weren't sure what to do with it. Too long, too sad. But now it feels ahead of its time. It's not really about fame. It's about being looked at and never actually known. Gardner's performance feels personal, worn in, like she's been through it. This is the kind of movie that sticks not because of the glamour, but because of the silence after the applause. 9. Living in Oblivion, 1995. Living in Oblivion, 1995 is one of those movies I stumbled into late and instantly felt like I'd been on that set before. Not literally, but emotionally. Steve Buscemi plays a stressed-out indie director trying to make his movie while everything goes wrong. Lights flicker, actors improvise badly, the boom mic drops into frame, and no one's ever on the same page. Directed by Tom Dillo, who actually lived this life. He shot Stranger Than Paradise with Jim Jarmusch. Living in Oblivion came from years of creative frustration. You can feel it. It's broken into 3 sections. Each one blurs the line between dream, scene, and meltdown. You think it's a comedy, and it is, but under the jokes, it's about burnout, hope, and that weird desperation to make something real, even when it's falling apart. It was a festival hit. Critics got it, but it never went mainstream. Too specific, too indie, which is exactly why it works. If you've ever tried to create anything with no money and no backup, this one's going to hit close and make you laugh through the stress. 10. Star 80, 1983. I watched Star 80 1983 for the first time recently, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. I knew the story. Dorothy Stratton, Playboy model, murdered by her husband. But the movie, it hit different. Eric Roberts plays Paul Snider, and I honestly don't think I've ever seen a performance like it. He doesn't play creepy. He plays insecure, desperate, charming when he needs to be, pathetic when he can't help it. It sneaks up on you. Bob FSY directed this not long after All That Jazz, and you feel that same fractured rhythm. The story jumps around. The camera doesn't look away. You're not watching a tragedy. You're already in it. Critics praised it. Roger Ebert called Robert scary good. But the film came and went. Too dark, too uncomfortable, too soon maybe. And yeah, it's not easy to sit through. But that's kind of the point. It's not about fame or sex or even jealousy. It's about control, about the kind of love that erases people. And Roberts, man, he disappears into that spiral. I missed this one for years. I won't forget it now. You probably won't either. Hollywood remembers its legends, but forgets some of its best stories. These films deserve another look. Hit subscribe for more hidden gems, deep cuts, and forgotten classics every week on Golden Age Spotlight.